Breakin Ballz with Johnny P.
What are you breaking my balls for? All right, here we are again for another episode of Breakin Ballz. Joining us again tonight. He's been a little bit on the hiatus. He did a show with us before, and he's back in town. We got the one and only, my man, Lou Martini Jr.
Yes.
Always good to be with the Titan of titillation, ladies and gentlemen.
The Titan
Johnny
of
Potenza.
titillation. What is that?
Okay, because you titillate my senses.
I didn't know the
John.
show was going in that direction. Yes.
And that lovely voice you hear in the background, right out of the cellar, we got Concetta Rose Rella.
Yes, Concetta.
You like that, right?
Out of the
No doubt.
cellar.
About-
They released me for
Oh
this
my God.
episode.
Rella and cellar.
Locking people down here.
Yeah, so what's going on, Louie?
Well, I booked a job today, so give me a round of applause.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
It's been rough
Well done.
lately. You know, the business is rough. I don't have to tell you guys, but I just
Yeah.
booked a little guest spot on. And Johnny's familiar with the show Power.
Yes.
I've seen it a couple of times.
love
It's
it.
the 50
Love
Cent
it.
show. It's about urban life and gangsters and stuff like that.
Cool.
So I booked a guest spot. We'll shoot it on Friday. It'll be out in about a month, so look for that. So that's always good news.
So what you think
That's
about
great.
the Elvis Presley movie?
Well, I told you. I told Johnny beforehand. First of all, I saw it right
Here we
like when
go.
it came out because I'm a huge fan. I think,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, it was the night of the snowstorm when the snowstorm started. Remember that night we had the snowstorm?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, we went out, and I was just off of throat surgery. I had my throat surgery. Thanks for all your prayers and thoughts. For people that know me, I had throat surgery. Everything came out great, so thank you very much. But I wanted to get out of the house, and I went and saw Epic Elvis Presley in concert. Me and John are big Elvis fans. But
Yes.
the key, like I told John, is you have to see it in IMAX. IMAX is an incredible experience. It's like you're in front of the guy. The sound is incredible. The picture's incredible.
I
It's
love
just
on
all
IMAX.
incredible. I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I want to take Johnny next week because he didn't see it in IMAX. I want to go bring it to
Hold on. I'm
Bring
going
to
to
see
call him
IMAX.
out because he told me he was never going to go see an Elvis movie with you because you sing the whole time.
That's right.
He said that behind my
Yes,
back. One
yes.
night with you.
Yeah, I put on Elvis Presley with a jump. Bum, 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 bam. Just my baby living.
I may cry. I may cry when I go to an Elvis movie. I cry because I think of my mom and stuff, and it's very,
that's sweet.
it's very emotional for me. As a matter of fact, I went with Liz and I took a picture of my mom
Yeah.
with me, and I
Aw.
put it there on the little. You know, when you go to these theaters, it has the table in front of you and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So my mom saw the movie too.
Oh, that's so cute.
that's
so
great.
Sweet.
One night with you.
I could tell I would have went to the IMAX, but it wasn't playing at the place I was supposed to go, so I just went because I didn't know when I was going to be able to see it. But,
Yeah.
but it was great. I loved it. Excellent.
So
And if
you
you're not
saw
an
it
Elvis
once
fan, you
without
will
him
be.
singing.
If you're not an Elvis fan, you will be. I mean,
Okay.
really, that's how good it is. It really
Yeah.
You like Elvis, right?
Oh, I do. I already like
Good-looking
Elvis.
guy.
Handsome.
Handsome boy.
Woo!
You should have saw him in this. It was really, really good. What year was that at the International? Was it 1970 or 71?
The concerts that they show are from 70 and 72.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
72, that more?
Elvis on Elvis on tour. They show Blue Suit Elvis from
Okay.
Elvis
Yeah, you're
on
right.
Tour
That's right.
movie.
You're right.
The white suit was at the International Hotel in 70.
Yeah, because
Wow,
those
you know
also
it by
stuff.
costume?
yeah.
A little bit.
It's
I'm
just like
so
Kiss with the
impressed.
costume. You know what year they wore those
Yeah, a
costumes?
little bit.
No.
I'm not an expert. by
I
any
mean,
means,
I
but a little bit, but
don't.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with those films, so you know.
Wow, that's
And remember,
good.
I was an Elvis tribute artist back
That's
in the day.
true. You did
So
your
I had a
You
research.
couple
remember,
of
he's
sets.
freaking everything. Lou is fucking everything. A magician.
He has done
a
everything.
I don't think he was. You were janitor. Or
I was in the union. I was a doorman.
yeah.
32B, 32J. I was a janitor and doorman
I
for
knew
one
already how to
summer.
mop my
God.
floor last week.
Yeah.
Lou, the Renaissance man.
Not afraid of hard work, Johnny P. Not
That's
afraid of hard
right,
work.
that's right.
Not
Let
afraid of
him
getting my
know.
hands dirty.
Listen, I get my hands dirty taking everything off the back of a truck, so I'm good. But anyway, speaking of the back of a truck, and this guy's been around a long time. He's an actor. He's been around, and it's his 40th anniversary in the Actors SAG Union, and he's here tonight. Let's give him up for Tony Cucci.
Hey,
Yeah!
thank you so
What's up, my
much.
man, Tony?
Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Good to
Thank so
see
much
you,
for
my
having
brother.
me. I appreciate it, man. It's wonderful to be here. I love everybody already. I can tell it's a great group. I like the camaraderie. I feel like whenever Gary's not available, I can fit right in.
Oh, forget about
There you
it.
go.
And listen, the way Gary's going these days, you know,
That's right.
He might be gone a little,
Yeah,
little
yeah.
while.
No, don't
might-
say that.
he might be sent away.
Don't say
I
that.
might be
He
on a
doesn't
post
mean it.
office, want a wanted poster or something like that. I don't know, man.
Well, Johnny, I don't know if you know, but Johnny sent me a video the other day of Gary had a problem, which he usually has
Yeah.
with somebody in a store. And Johnny says, "Did you see the video of Gary's alteration?" And I'm like, is Gary taking video of him at the tailor now? What do you mean? He says, no, he had a problem with a guy at the store. He's like, John, altercation, John.
Altercation.
This is what we deal with, Coach.
No,
This
I
is
know.
what we deal
That's
with.
what I love about
That's
John.
why they call me the king of malaprops.
Yes.
There you go.
Flip Mahoney.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Might as well
Tony,
do
you look
it.
good. I know Tony. How many years now, Tony?
Oh, my God. Well,
We started
go back
out together.
30,
We started
40,
out
year-
together.
40 years ago.
Oh, I
This is
didn't
my
know
40th
that.
year. Yeah.
Oh,
Our first
wow.
acting class
I didn't
together.
know that.
Yep, we
Oh,
started out a
good
long
idea.
time
Yeah,
ago.
they went
That's so
to
cool.
whatever. They were custodians.
Well, we were in the union together.
Yeah,
Really.
we mop floors together.
We
Makes
cleaned
me
the
a bad guy.
theaters, and then they gave us a job once in a
yeah.
while.
No, we went to this acting school called Weiss Barron,
Right.
Okay.
and we connected right away because we would sit there, and literally the guy, at these things, they'd run the camera for
Crazy.
your auditions.
Right.
The woman that was teaching, her boyfriend was the guy running the camera, and all they did was fight the whole time. And me and Coach would sit there, like, what are we doing here? Are we going to get up and do a scene, or we could just listen to them fucking fight all night?
The good thing about
Wow.
Weiss Barron, though, was it was like payola, like the old days with the record company to come in. You pay to get in some of these classes, and you meet the casting directors, the agents.
They're not
and-
around anymore, right?
I know. I don't think they do it anymore.
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
telling you, it was a cool thing to do back in the day. Like you don't take your headshots around anymore, too.
Yeah.
We used to
Right.
go around, do the rounds, put it under the door, through the door, then they
Yeah.
put it right in the shredder.
Same thing with the movie companies back in the day, right?
It's what I'm saying. It was like
Wow.
the payola. Like you take a class, and then you met the casting director with All My Children or Guiding Light.
And that's
or-
how we met.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we met doing stuff like that back in the day. I mean, it's hard to believe how long a career is. And like I said, I'm the most undiscovered guy in the planet still.
Yeah.
But
I like to say
but
I'm the most famous, not famous person.
there you go. Exactly. I totally agree with that. I mean,
Don't
I've got,
steal that now.
No,
Don't
no,
steal that.
I'm not. That's yours all the way.
All right, thank you.
But it's true. You have a long resume. And sometimes, like you were saying to me, when you look at the IMDb thing, which I very rarely look
Yeah.
at. And I was looking at it again the other night because you forget how much stuff you've done
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
40 years.
for
It's
sure.
you start out small and then you get bigger parts, and you're doing commercials. You're doing, I've been fortunate enough to work on Broadway and off Broadway.
Yeah, so talk about your Broadway days, because
Yeah.
that's where I
Well,
heard a lot
Broadway,
about
I
you.
did Ma Rainey's Black Bottom with Whoopi Goldberg and
Oh,
Charles
get outta
Dutton.
here.
And it was a great experience. And Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie was undiscovered. He had
Oh,
just
wow.
done the movie with the rapper. What's his name?
Tupac, though.
No, not Tupac. The
Biggie?
white guy.
Oh,
Eminem?
Eminem.
8
Oh,
Mile?
yeah,
He
8 Mile.
just did
Oh,
8 Mile,
really?
and 8
Okay.
Mile hadn't come out yet. And he was great. I mean, we used to go have lunch in between the matinees, and he was like a nobody. But he was Juilliard. The kid had the
course.
resume. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
You know what he was great in?
What?
Marshall, the football movie.
Marshall was great. Oh, he was very good in that.
Oh,
and what else?
great.
There was another movie that he was.
He's a
very
good actor,
Yeah,
Anthony
he's just a
Mackie's-
solid actor. Oh, the one about the detonation of the bombs with the Academy Award-winning movie too.
Not the automaker, right? I can't even
No,
say.
I forget the name of the movie, but look, Anthony Mackie's a solid guy. Whoopi Goldberg was great. Charles Dutton was great working with him.
How was Whoopi back then? She
No,
was normal, right?
Whoopi was unbelievable back then.
Yeah.
She would tell me, "Listen, you want to go out to Sardi's? We'll go have dinner."
She was
we'll
just
have
a
lunch."
regular
She was
She was
neighborhood
regular.
gal. but
Invite
she-
me to
yeah.
our place downtown. It was funny too because my daughter was small back then, and we were still in rehearsals before we moved to the theater. And Whoopi had a birthday, Christmas party at her house, and it was in Tuxedo Park. I'd never been there, but so we drive over. I go to the bakery. I get some pastries, dozen pastries or something. We drive out to Tuxedo Park. The guy goes, "Pull your car over there in the lot," and I'm like, "Okay." The bus will take you over to Whoopi's house. She had a house all the way around. It was on a cul-de-sac.
Huge.
Unbelievable. It looked like it was a mansion. It was a total mansion. And she was on the tip of the island. So
Really?
I go inside. Well, we pull up and I get out
Where
of
is
the
this,
van.
Jersey? Where is it?
It's over the line. It's in New York. It's in New York, Tuxedo Park, New York.
Oh,
What year?
okay.
What year? You remember what year?
I think.
Late
Well, it was
80s,
no.
early
It was like 2000.
Okay.
It was right after
Sis Act?
2001 because they had to shut down the streets when we were doing the shows. They literally closed down the streets where the theaters were, so they wouldn't let anything drive in to blow up the people while they were watching the shows. And so we go to the house, and I get out of the truck, and Whoopi's coming out of the front door of her house, and she sees me. She goes, "Tony, thank you so much for coming." And I said, "Yeah, I got some pastry I brought, but I don't think with all the people you have here." And I walked inside. It was like a who's who. They had the four tenors were singing. The black tenors were singing Christmas. She had a tree that was like four
imagine.
stories tall.
Wow.
And the funny thing was, she took the cannoli, she put them in the other room. They had a whole spread there. I didn't know.
Probably put him in
It's
the
a different, it's a different level that you're
Yeah,
living
yeah,
on,
yeah.
So I go inside and I said to Whoopi, she goes, come here, I want to show you something. So she takes me into her study and she goes, "I know you're going to appreciate this." And I said, "Oh, well, let me see." So I go in there and she's got her Oscar, the EGOT, like she's got them all, like up on this shelf. And it was the first time I ever saw a plasma TV back then, too. I never saw one. I was like, oh, my God, the TV. She's like, no, I didn't want to show you the TV. I wanted to show you this stuff here. And I just couldn't believe it. And I said, wow. And she had the largest collection of black art in her house.
Was she with Ted Danson at this time?
No, she wasn't. She wasn't with him anymore.
She was dating Ted?
Yeah,
Well,
for
it was
a
For
while.
a long time.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she did.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
she did.
I remember Ted Danson got
He did the
in
whole
trouble for the
blackface
blackface
thing. Yeah, the
thing.
blackface thing
Yeah.
at the Friars Club or
Yeah.
something. He did
Yeah,
the whole
I mean-
blackface. So anyway, I'm looking at all this stuff, and I said, "Whoop, you worried about anybody like just lifting something here?" And you had a lot of people there. She's like, "I got cameras everywhere. Don't worry about it." And I said, "Listen, I gotta go to the bathroom. You got a bathroom?" She goes, "Oh, go downstairs. There's a bathroom downstairs. It'll be more private."
No.
So no, I go down these stairs. And I make a left, and there's a football game on the TV. It was like a Jets game or something. And I look, and I said, "Oh wow, man, what's the score?" And I look over, and it's Robert De Niro sitting in the chair. Swear to God.
You must have
And
bugged, right?
I was like, "Oh shit, it's Robert De Niro." And he goes, "No score." And I go, "Okay, where's the bathroom?" He goes, "Right over there." So I go in the bathroom, and I'm like spray painting the wall in there a little bit. I was like, "Holy shit, it's freaking Robert De Niro!" What? At the time, was one of my idols. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things have changed a little bit since then, but
Yeah.
he still was pretty good then. So anyway, I get myself together. I look in the mirror, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna talk to him. So I come out, and the game is on. I look at the TV. I go, "Any score?" He goes, "Nope." I said, "Okay, see you later." And I walk upstairs.
That's how he
and
is.
Whoopi comes over to me. She goes, "You see Bobby down there?" I said, "Yeah. Why don't you give me a little heads up on the Robert De Niro on the couch downstairs?" She goes, "Well, I thought, you just go talk to him." I said, I think you're going to repaint the bathroom down there a little bit. You're going to have to do something and she just couldn't stop laughing. And I'm telling you, I had my kid there. She had a boathouse in the back. She had face painting, the little hot dogs.
You had your
hors
kid
d'oeuvre.
there?
My daughter came.
How old was she? At
She
the
took
time?
I got to show you a picture later. I think I might have one in my wallet.
Okay.
Whoopi took a picture with me, my wife, and my daughter.
Okay.
I mean, she was like 5 years old. I mean, it was unbelievable. She didn't want anything on her face. My daughter never liked face paint at all. She's like, "No, give me the little hot dogs. I'll eat those." But,
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was just an incredible experience. She had Santa Claus come across the lake,
Wow.
giving gifts to all the kids. And I said, Tukey Smith was there. And I said, "I think that's De Niro's his wife or his ex-wife or whatever." And it was just an incredible time. You really see how the other half lives.
It's nice to have money.
Oh, no, it was incredible.
I wouldn't
It was
know.
incredible. And I'll tell you a funny story, real quick. When the show ended on Broadway, they had made this 1930s Chicago police officer. I played this police officer that brings her on stage, which was very interesting, too, because every night I bring her on stage, we had to wait for like 10 minutes for the audience to stop applauding.
Oh, get
because
outta
it just
here.
went on, and just like a wave hits you. And, say the line, you got to wait, and then boom. So anyway, after the last show, the stylist says to me, "You can buy your uniform." It was tailor-made for me. I said, "For that Tony Cucci museum someday, I think I'd like to have this."
Yeah.
And she goes, "It's only $3,000."
Ooh.
And I said, "You know what? You can take it."
Yes.
And
told me that?
so they went downstairs,
That's
and
great.
after the show was over, we took our bows and we come upstairs, and the thing is hanging in my closet. And I go, I thought you took it downstairs. And there was a note on it. She said, "This is a gift from me to you, Whoopi."
Wow.
Aw.
And I
Nice.
said, and so we went to the after party, and I went up to her, and I said, "Whoop." I mean,
But this is the closing night?
This was
is the
closing night, and then we had a party at her place downtown. And I get goosebumps thinking about it. And I go up to her, catch her in a little spot there, and I said, "Listen, that was really amazing what you did for me." She said, "How'd you feel when you saw that?" I said, "I felt great. It felt like $1 million. It was my first Broadway costume. I'm gonna have it forever." And she goes, "Just do it for somebody else someday."
Oh,
I swear
I
to
like
God, I
that.
get choked up thinking about it
That's
yeah.
big.
because she was big.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just
That's-
awesome.
Yeah, man. Listen, I
Yeah.
always
Oh,
liked
man.
Whoopi
Nice.
There you go.
Goldberg before she went on The View. And
Yeah, look, she even invited me. I went to The View a few times, And the funny thing was, after that, she did a TV show. And I had an audition for this TV show. And I go out to Queens. It was not Silver Cup. It was the other one, Kaufman Studios. And they had the sets built there. And I go over, and I'm waiting in the lobby. And I see her driver, this guy, Tony, come in. And he goes, "Tony." And I knew, we were together for 6-7 months, on Broadway. He goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, I got an audition for the Whoopi show. He goes, "Why don't you tell Whoopi? I'll tell her you're here. I got her lunch." I said, No. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I'm going to go in, do my thing." And goes in, he comes out, he goes, "Whoopi wants to see you." in the dressing room. So I go down the hall, and I go in her room. And she's like, "Look, I got half a sandwich here. I can't eat this whole thing." I said, "Whoop, I got an audition. I'm auditioning for you." She goes, "Hold on a second." She goes, "Eat." Goes down the hall. She comes back. She goes, "I'll see you Tuesday." I said, what are you talking about? She goes, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. I know what you can do.
That's great that she
That's
was that
awesome.
I
humble.
couldn't
Yeah.
believe it, man. Unbelievable. And from the table read, when I went to the table read, because they had to do it for the producers in LA, she goes, you sit here, sit right next to me. She was so cool. I get goosebumps because she was so nice to me. Took me to Sardi's to lunch. And I used to see people come up to her. She'd be like putting food in her mouth. And they go, can I get your autograph?
Yeah.
She'd be like, listen, if you wait until I'm on my way out, I'll sign anything, but I'm eating right now. And you see how it's kind of a crazy lifestyle, too.
It's-
I mean, I know she's gotten
It's
politically
hard,
out of
though.
control, but she was so sweet to me. It was awesome, and I'll never forget her for that. But yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
That's a true
really
story. I mean,
cool.
you can't make that stuff up. And Charles Dutton was awesome to work with. I mean, we did a show, a matinee once, and there was all high school kids out there, like inner city kids, and they were yelling to the stage.
Mm.
He stopped the whole show and he said, will you shut the fuck up out there? We're doing a show here.
Yeah.
Wow.
This isn't TV. And I was like, holy shit. And he just stepped right back into character. I was like, man, and Whoopi also that night, kids are like, yo, man, I want to make money. I want to be, I want to be a star, man. I want to be a star like you, Whoop. And she goes, listen, if you enjoy what you're doing and you can get paid for it, you're making a living,
Yeah.
doing what
Yeah.
you love to do. Like my father used to say, you can find something you love to do and get paid for it. You got the world beat, right? And she said, look, just do what you got to do. If you love acting, be an actor. You can act anywhere, regional theaters, everywhere. I mean, and she's so right because the number of people, I mean, look, you and I have been doing this, we're all doing this a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
The next level can happen overnight. I mean, I saw Dominic Chianese
Yeah.
at one of his shows, and he talked about until he did Sopranos, he was living like paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
That was the show that put him over the top. He was a school teacher. I mean, he was a school teacher when I was like born in 1961, in Manhattan. I mean, it's true. Everybody thinks you're making. He said, I did The Godfather. And
Yeah.
my wife sued me for alimony. I was in jail on Christmas Eve because I couldn't make the pay.
Wow.
I got $700. People think I played Johnny Ola. I made all this money.
Yeah.
Look, you would think
Yeah.
that until you get in the business and people look at you and they go, oh, man, look at this guy. He's got it made.
I
Got
think it
made.
was
We
the
all got it made.
I think it was the
okay?
Gotti movie that kind of threw him and launched him to the Sopranos, like right almost.
Well, it launched a lot of people, like
Yeah.
Vinny Pastore.
Yeah, that Gotti movie had everybody in it.
Yeah, it had everybody.
Yeah.
Frank
Strong
Vincent.
cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the best Gotti movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, the John
Without a
Oh, it's a
doubt.
top. In general, it's
Yeah.
a top 5
Yeah, without a
mafia
doubt.
movie of all time.
Great.
And then that
It's great.
casting director was the one that did all the Sopranos.
Who was that?
Walk and Jaffe
Okay.
casting. So they did the movie, and then they called in all these people that had already been,
Half the people,
kind of.
half the
And once you
people.
do it, I think that's the key. It's like you see people go from one show to another on TV.
Yeah.
Once they know you can do it. You're reliable.
in.
You show up. You're not a drunk. You do your
Yeah.
lines. You hit your mark. And that's the way I am. I don't need to like muddle over it. I worked with Adrian Pasdar. I did On the Waterfront off Broadway with him too.
Yeah.
I couldn't even hear his line. I didn't know when to come in. My cue. I couldn't. You can't
Yeah.
figure it out. It's like when you're doing stage, it's a little different than film.
100%.
And
Well, stage separates them from
Completely.
yeah,
performance, really.
so I mean that's what I'm
Completely.
saying. I've done a lot of stage work too, early on in my
Did you
career.
start out in the theater or
No, I had a
film?
very crazy beginning. I was an athlete most of my life.
Yeah.
Really?
And I played
Football player.
football at Montclair State.
All right.
And in 1984, I was graduating. I didn't know really. I was a political science major, which you could throw that out there.
Wow.
Science
And,
major,
yeah, I
me.
got. Hey, there's a degree on my wall. I was the only person in my family to graduate college,
Good for
which
you.
is by
Me too. Same
by
thing with
really
me.
crazy. Well, yeah, you went to a big school though in Houston. or
University
something,
of
right?
Houston.
Yeah, I went to a small Division III school team. Played with Sam Mills, the great Sam Mills. the football
Really?
player. Yeah.
New Orleans Saints?
My first day of practice in college, I looked across and I saw this black guy, this little guy, he's 5'5" or something, right? He wasn't big. I said, I'm 6'2", 225. I am going to run through this guy. I'm going to show them that I'm in college. After I hit him, as I was looking out the ear hole of my helmet, and I didn't know where I was, the coach said to me, welcome to college football. You just met Sam Mills. And I was like,
Wow.
wow, that was like, this guy was unreal. And he actually got me a tryout with the Philadelphia Stars in the United States Football League many years
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
But going back to the story, so I'm playing football. I'm bouncing in nightclubs all around Jersey. And I bounced at this one club called the Strawberry Patch.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it was in Wayne, New Jersey. And on Thursday nights, they had male dancers. It's when the male dancing thing started. So I was the maitre d', and I'd seat the women. One night, this guy, Brian, comes in, one of the dancers. And, it was primitive back then. Jump on a table,
Yeah,
slinging things around, I
Yeah.
mean, no lighting. It was weird. It was how it started. And he comes in, he goes, listen, tonight there's going to be a guy coming. I want you to let him in. I said, who's the guy? He goes, his name's Nick DeNoia from Chippendales.
Mhm.
And I said, okay. I'm auditioning for Chippendales. And they just opened a club in New York. And I said, oh, okay, so no problem. So I let all the ladies in. I said, this guy comes in. I said, excuse me, sir, it's ladies night only. He goes, I'm here to see Brian Starcher. I'm Nick DeNoia from Chippendales. And I was like, oh, and he hands me his card. And I go, oh, okay, you're the guy he told me about. Okay, come on. I set him up in the back behind all the ladies, and I gave him, the cheese platter, the wine, everything, right? Did it up for Brian.
I worked for Nick DeNoia.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You work for him too.
You work with Nick DeNoia?
How many little martinis are there?
I worked at Chippendales for about 3 months as a
You
waiter.
there
did
you go.
not.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is a bold-faced
Well,
lie.
no, this
Did
is
you really?
So
That's a
full
waiter.
of baloney.
Well, you must have come after I was there.
Wow.
This is 19...
Yeah, I was there in the 80s, early 80s, 83, 84, 82,
87
83, 84.
maybe.
So this guy, Nick, comes in. I set him up. He watches the show, talks to Brian. On the way out, he goes to me, he's got a cigarette. He's always like with the cigarette. Tony, can I ask you a question? I said, sure, Nick, what's up? He goes, do you dance? And I said, well, what do you mean, like dance? I dance. No. Would you think about dancing in a club? And I was like, no, not really. I'm an athlete. I'm going to try to play pro football, and that's kind of where I'm at. He goes, all right, well, here, you have my card. If you think about it, give me a call. So he leaves. Brian comes up and he goes, thanks so much, man. You did everything cool. I think I'm in. I got to go in the city next week, and I got to audition for him at the club. And I said, great, man. I'm so happy for you. He goes, I gave him your number. I said, you gave him my number? I'm a very homophobic Jersey kid back then. I didn't have any gay friends or,
Right.
And I thought this guy was, which he kind of was in the end anyway. But
And you got to tell Johnny Concetta what happened to Nick DeNoia.
well, yeah, that's down the line. Yeah, he gets killed in his office. And actually, I was supposed to be there that day. I was supposed to meet him at Elaine's the day he was killed. The long story short is,
Yeah.
I go work for my father the next day. My father had a tavern in Passaic, New Jersey, Sue and Tony's Tavern, named after my grandparents. On Fridays, I would pick up supplies for him. So I'm down there. All of a sudden, the phone rings. My father picks it up. He goes, it's your mother. She says, somebody called for you. So I pick it up. She goes, that night I had come home, and I put all my stuff on the kitchen table. My mother saw this card that said Chippendales. And she goes, what's with the card, And this guy from Chippendales called Nick DeNoia. I said, Ma, I don't know anything about it. He wants these strippers. I don't know. I'm not a stripper. She goes, you got to go. You got to give him a call. He called. He called already. So he called my mother. Brian gave him my number. And so just let me know if I'm taking too long. But anyway, so I call him, and she goes, he wants you to come to New York tonight. I said, I can't. I'm working at the club. She goes, no, you got to go. My mother's like, the stage mom for stripping. I'm like, Ma, this is kind of
Well, it was a big deal.
So I
Being at
hang up the
Chippendales
phone.
is a
She
big
goes, come
deal.
home, take a
Yeah.
So I go, okay. So my father goes, what's up? My father's the Italian with the little pizza hat and the cigarette all the time. I go, nothing, Dad. I met a guy in a club last night. He wants me to come to New York. He might want me to work. He goes, he's going to pay you more money? I said, yeah, I think it's probably going to be more money than $50. I was getting like $50 a night as a bouncer back then. So anyway, I go home, take a shower, drive into New York. I get onto First Avenue, 61st, and I see this line of women outside this club down, 61st Street. And I'm like, holy shit, I park my car, walk over, and now I'm in the same position that Nick was in the other night. And the guy's door goes, hey, man, it's ladies' night. You got to come back at 10. I said, no. I took out the card. I said, Nick DeNoia, I'm here to see him. And these two guys at the front door were Danny Aiello Jr. and Ricky Aiello.
Oh, wow.
Talk about, and eventually someday I would work
Oh,
with their
that's
father.
right. They worked the door.
They worked the door.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and I didn't know him. So we would eventually become friends, and Danny would use me on movies, stunt things, and all this other stuff.
Danny was good.
So he goes, go upstairs. So I go upstairs. I walk in. These guys are pumping up in this dressing room, right? All these guys have the baby oil. They're all tan. I'm like, fuck, it's January.
Coke
How
out of their
are these
minds,
guys
too.
tan? Right. Well, yeah,
Coke out of their minds.
that comes later. And I go outside and I meet Larry. Now, Larry would be eventually the big drug dealer in the whole joint, like you were talking about. Go outside. And I go, Larry, what do I do? He goes, just the guy will call your name. You go out on stage, take a bow, and get in line. So I go, okay. So they're all going. And finally, I hear, he goes, you're next. So I was next at the curtain. And he goes, I hear the MC on roller skates. He used to be on roller skates down there. And he goes, the next guy coming out is a construction worker by day. And he works here at Chippendales at night, and he's responsible for some of the major erections around town. Welcome, Tony Cucci. And I come out, and I almost fall. I missed the first step, and I almost go down. The spotlights hit you. Now, the place was like a studio back then, right? I mean, it was like a setup,
It was
like
gigantic.
follow spots and everything. So I catch myself. I get up on the thing, and there's 500 screaming women. Nick wants to see me up in the VIP room. I go up there. The heads of the 5 families are there. The owners of the club, wise guys, a lot of wise guys. And right. And he goes, Tony, I think you could do it. He's got the cigarette again. I think you could do it, but we're going to have auditions on Monday. Can you come back? I said, sure, I'll come back. My mother yelling, yes, come back. So Monday I go, 10 guys are there, all these muscle guys. He can't even move.
Yeah.
And there's this little Calvin, this dance captain. He was in the original Chorus Line on Broadway. This kid, muscular little guy, but he was only like 3 feet tall. He's like a munchkin. And he looks at me and he's like, another one. You know, he's like, yeah, he's gonna be. And we become great friends. We become wonderful friends. But guy comes in, fits me with all the fur.
The barbarian.
The barbarian.
You realize you have to come back another show to talk about your acting career.
Well, no. The acting career happens through there. Yeah. Because I go with Brian to an audition for a commercial. I'm there now for a while, right? Brian goes to me, listen, I got an audition. They're looking for football players.
How long were you at Chippendales then?
I was there for 3 years, and then I got the Pickup Artist movie, which is a very funny story.
Well, listen, Tony, you took a
That's-
lot of your time up, but we want to focus on a couple more things.
Go ahead.
You got about like 5 minutes left.
Holy shit, that went fast. I'm still fucked. Now it's really bad. Now I have Alzheimer's on set.
And you got to get yourself a watch. So we're like 5 minutes over. So before we close, Tony, listen up.
Yes,
All
thank
right,
you for
this is how
having me. I'm sorry I took up.
I don't know
the
about
show.
you guys, but I'm exhausted.
But this, yeah, but no,
That's how I
we
felt.
gotta ask Tony quick. How did you get? Do it in 2 minutes. How'd you get on The Sopranos?
Sopranos was great. My agent got me an audition. I went in. I read for this part that didn't even really have a name. They gave me the scene that Danny Grimaldi did in the car with Annabella Sharia.
Okay.
Didn't have anything written, so I did the scene. I'm taking my daughter for Christmas pictures at Fortunoff's in Westchester. My agent calls my phone, said, you got it. And I was
That
like,
was your first and only audition?
yeah.
You
No,
were
I
lucky.
auditioned once for Elvis. The Elvis guy
Oh,
that
that
got
Elvis
killed on
guy?
the show.
Mike
that got
Memphis.
killed.
Mike Memphis.
Yeah, I really didn't want that.
Nah.
I didn't come in, and I auditioned for John Fiore's part.
Oh wow.
John Fiore was there today.
Oh, so you did have a couple auditions.
I did have a couple auditions, but John really got the good one. That was a nice one. He died on the ball. We all died. We all died.
He did a good part.
No, he's a great guy. I love him.
I
know
love
him from-
John Fiore.
I know John from Law and Order. We were extras, and then he was a stand-in. Then they gave him a part on the show.
Good-looking
He was
guy.
going back and forth to Boston.
Yeah, he was going back and forth.
He was
didn't
living
tell
on
me
a
that they're
couch.
Boston.
He was living on somebody's couch. Yeah, I mean,
Profaci.
that's what I'm saying. Amazing stories. But that's an actor's life. It really is. It's it's hit or miss.
Who was your favorite character? Frank Vincent, of course, you worked with.
Well,
He
I
was
like
great,
Frank.
right?
Frank was very good, and I wound up doing the original Wise Guys satellite show that
You-
Stephen Van Zandt
you
did.
on that with
Well,
Joe
Vinny,
Corsi and
Vinny
everybody?
invited me.
Vinny?
Vinny invited me, and I'd worked with Joe Corsi on Spiker Bensonhurst, a movie from back in the day, and he
Well,
had
he
a
was
little.
in that-
Sasha Mitchell. the
Sasha
great
Mitchell
Sasha
and,
Mitchell.
Why, he was in that show?
And Ernest Borgnine was in it. Ernest Borgnine was
It's a
the
terrible
coolest guy
movie.
in the world to talk to.
Low
Ernest
budget.
Borgnine.
Do you remember the movie?
I don't remember.
There was music. There was a score.
But that's where I
under
met
the
Joe
the
Corsi.
whole movie was scored.
Get out of
Really?
here.
Go watch it. It's called
Terrible,
Spike
huh?
of
But
Bensonhurst.
that's where I met Joe Corsi.
Over the
originally.
dialogue.
I met him on that movie set.
Over the dialogue, the whole music is scored. I
But
couldn't
that
believe
was,
it.
that.
but when Vinny asked me onto the show because I just done Sopranos with Frank Vincent,
Okay.
and I said, "Great, we're coming." And it was Vinny Bella was there, and
Love Vinny Bella.
The other guy. So two of the guys, they're all gone. Excuse me. And but then Vinny had a heart attack,
Yeah.
and he calls me from his hospital. And he says, "I still want you to do the show." I said, "We driving in together?" He goes, "I'm a New York Presbyterian right now. I'm going to have a surgery tomorrow for my heart." I was like, "Are you serious?" So I went, and then Joe Corsi was there, told me the whole thing, what happened, and then Frank Vincent.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, Frank, how you doing?" And we hadn't seen each other since we
Yeah.
shot together, and then we wound up doing the show, and it came out really good. It was
Good.
nice. But Vinny, I got Vinny to thank for. He was the guy to turn me on to Tommy Waits back in the day, and then.
I don't know, Tony.
on, Tony.
Do you want to get some real acting lessons?
You got to come to HB, Tony. I'm doing the acting classes now.
You know Lou Martini, right? You know Lou.
Of course. Lou and I go way back.
I never met Concetta. Who's this lovely girl? That's what he was saying.
I got to get her up to
Right.
City
Married?
Island.
No, he would. That's how he said that. That's what he would do.
No.
Well,
You
Tony,
know, when you imitate
listen,
him,
I'm
before we go, when you imitate Vinny, it's basically like James Mason on Staten Island. If you took James Mason and put him in
James
Staten
Mason.
Island, it's Vinny Pastore. He's like the James Mason, the way he talks.
No, yeah.
That just hit me now. It's like fucking
It's
James
so,
Mason
it's so
on Staten
crazy.
Island.
Well, when
right?
people say I know Vinny because like when I do him, they go, "You really know him,"
yeah, of course.
and it's great. Look, you and I hit it off at the Pizza Bowl thing. That's how I came to this
Yes,
show
and-
because I had never known Johnny, and I feel like I've known you.
I
like,
know. That's how
forever
me and
now.
you, when we were on the phone
This
a
is
couple
funny.
days later for like an hour.
Yeah, we were talking for an hour on the phone.
And I
so-
don't mean to cut you off
great.
because we were always on
know.
a time schedule here with the half-hour shows. But Tony, where can people find you? Website,
Tony
social
Cucci
media.
on Facebook, at T Cucci on Instagram.
Coochie Coo, right?
Yeah, well, Cucci Coo. He's on- you're doing Sinatra now.
RubandTug.com. You can find him on the the old Chippendales.com.
And you can still hire him
Yeah.
as a male stripper. You can still
Those
hire him as
days
a
are
male
over
stripper.
now,
No,
because I have
You
a
can do it for the
28-year-old
MILFs.
daughter.
The
It's
MILF
fun,
That's
'cause
not
I don't know
true.
if I'll-
If you have the police officer's costume, you have those
There you
little
go.
shorts. We all know it.
Well, yeah, I got a couple
They
of
still
those.
stretch.
The MILF.
I still have the collars and cuffs too. It's something. It's just like a memory box that you're gonna put on the wall someday.
Well, Tony, we'll definitely have you back,
Oh,
and
thanks
we'll
so
have a
much.
part 2
Good to
of
see you,
this.
my brother. I love you.
Yay,
You too.
Tony.
You're a good storyteller.
Yay.
I was wondering what we were going to talk about, but
No, we
my
already
book
know.
will be on sale soon. So
Yeah.
just
Oh, there's plenty
That's
more.
great.
There's
Well,
plenty
you just
more.
heard the first 60 pages, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's all right. Listen, and it's Breaking Balls. So that's it. So,
And you broke
Concetta,
our balls.
Well,
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you so much.
Concetta, it's always wonderful to see you. See you next show.
You as well. Thank
Right?
you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank
Tell
you
the
so
family
much.
I said hello, Martini. Make sure you tell the cats meow for me.
Okay, we'll do.
And Liz and everybody. And there's another episode of Breaking Balls with Johnny P and the cast here. We're on season 2. We're doing good. Thank you for all the likes and all the support that we're getting. But we still need a lot more.
Subscribe.
Subscribe,
Yes, follow.
subscribe. And remember, it's always nice to be nice. It really is. But whose balls are you going to break this week? Good night.
Breaking Balls with Johnny